Well, when you were shooting the finale, what scene made you cried a lot in it? Claire cried a lot in it. But what
Yeah.
made you, Caitríona, cry the most real life tears? Which scene?
The scene with the scene with Claire and Jamie in bed, and then, talking about the bees holding each other's hands. That was our last ever scene. So I cried a mountain of tears after that, as soon as they yelled cut. Like and they just released a little clip of that today, and I was like crying again. Um, I mean, in the scene, I probably cried the most during the the Jamie lying on the altar bit.
What did you and Sam say to each other when you wrapped that final scene that you shot and you were crying? What did you say to each other? Do you remember?
I don't think anything that made sense. It was so overwhelming. There was so many people there, and we reacted so differently. Like Sam went inward and he got very quiet, and you could see how emotional he was, but he just, his way of dealing with it was to get very, very quiet. My way of dealing with it was to just like emote all over everybody. Um, I don't know what we said. I mean, I think other than like I love you and thank you, it's like that's probably what we said to each other.
Well, that's a beautiful thing to say.
Mm.
So what do you think Claire will do when she opens her eyes at the very end? What do you think she's going to do when she opens her eyes?
She does open her eyes
She
at
does
the
open her
end.
eyes. What is she going to do when she after she opens her eyes?
Well, I don't know. I don't know where they are. Did they open their eyes and they're in this world, or do they open their eyes and they're somewhere else? I don't know.
So you think there's a possibility that they are no longer with
I
us?
don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not, um, I, yeah, I don't know. It's sort of very ambiguous, and it could be. I mean, it's, yeah, it's a very sort of open to interpretation ending, I guess.
How long did it take to do that scene when he was on the altar, as you called it, on the top of the mountain? How long was that shoot, and how exhausting was it?
It was, I mean, I was crying for it. I think it was only, gosh, Kate, like this is the issue when it's like, almost 2 years ago when you filmed. I think, I could be wrong, but I think we just did the stuff in location was just a day, but then we went into the studio and they'd replicated that space. And so all the nighttime stuff we did in there, which I think was at least half a day, if not more. Obviously the stuff before and after, maybe it was 2 days on the mountain, because obviously you had all the stuff where everybody came and gathered, and then you would have when young Ian came, or when actually I don't even know if that stayed in it with the young Ian coming, but when you had Roger come as well. So maybe it was 2 days, but I think it was one. I don't know. My knees hurt. I remember that. It's
You
hard.
need
Sam Hewen is very heavy, and when you're trying to hold him on top of you, it's kind of taxing on the knees. Um,
Hey, Sam, can you maybe like lean on your own elbow a little
he's like,
bit?
"No, I'm dead. I'm dead." He was very funny. I think he got great pleasure out of just being a dead weight.
You guys never got to do that before.
No.
So, there was something that I wanted to ask you about too. When I talked to Sophie earlier, she talked about being really gutted over a deleted scene, which the
Hmm.
two of you did. I was wondering how you felt about that, and if you could talk a little bit about why that scene was so meaningful to you. She said it was really a great moment for the two of you as actors.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And Sophie did amazing work in that scene. So originally, what happens in episode 3 with the baby, then there was this other moment with Sophie, which would have been a heart condition. And it was sort of the Claire that is sort of coming into that Adawahi prophecy where she um, sort of comes into her powers. And then, I think Matt decided that maybe perhaps, I don't know for sure, but maybe perhaps it was like too indicative, not indicative. It would be too kind of signposting for like the end. And they decided to remove that storyline. And then they decided to rewrite the season or the episode three stuff, and then they sort of removed that stuff from, I think it was episode four or five with Soph. And yeah, it's look at making a show is as heartbreaking as watching a show sometimes. There's always those moments where things get cut, storylines get changed. But like that's the job of a showrunner. It's like Matt has the vision that he wants to have for the season, and our job is to facilitate it. And sometimes as actors, that can be really frustrating, but that is always part of the job. And like you sometimes get seasons where your storylines are so dynamic and so challenging, and sometimes you don't. And that's just the way like TV shows are made.
Well, I feel like this finale was really satisfying to a lot of us who hadn't seen enough of Claire this season. We got to see a lot of Claire. Did you feel that way about the finale episode?
Yeah, it was so nice to be part of the storyline and part of the storytelling. It's not nice to sort of sit on the sidelines and not have a lot of stuff to do. I mean, it's frustrating as an actor. Um, but yeah, it felt, well, it felt great to be part of it. And I think it was a lovely way to finish out the season. And I've obviously been so much a part of the show since season one that yeah, it felt satisfying.
Well, at the beginning of the season, I asked you, you said to me actually, when it comes to Claire and Jamie's love life, they've been together for 20 years. There's nothing new left for them, right? But the lovemaking scene in this was really beautiful because you could see with both of them, they were kind of like knowing this could be the last time. And also kind of, it seemed like going through their whole love together, this journey they've been on. Can you talk about shooting that, or what was your take on that? And I
Yeah.
don't know what was the directive on the script page, if it said that or not.
I don't remember what was on the page. I know we spoke a lot with Vanessa, who was our incredible intimacy coordinator, and we talked a lot about this being, a moment of just tenderness. It had to be so tender. This was them just, it's an ultimate love making moment. It's not about pleasure, it's not about physicality, it is love. It has to be all love. And I think it was really important that it felt that way. And I think they did a great job with that scene. And it was very funny. I think afterwards, we didn't know this, but I'm not sure if it was Meryl or who, but like they had brought, I think was it, I might have even, I don't even think it was real champagne, but whatever. They brought like glasses with like fake champagne for us to celebrate our last ever love scene in the show, which was very sweet and very fun. Um, but yeah, I think, look, they've always communicated in some ways through their physicality. And I think a couple that loves each other in the way that they do, you want them, of course they would make love in this sort of very, you know, I don't know, like it's a tender, just in a way giving each other solace because they know that potentially what is about to come.
Yeah, I cried pretty much through the whole episode.
Hmm.
I've asked you this every season, but do you remember when you were happiest on set shooting the final season? Is there a high? Is there a happy, happy moment that you had?
Oh, wow. I mean, last season was for sure like episode two. I was just so happy that I was getting to direct and I was getting to work with my friends in this new way. And, I could give you several days, but like one highlight was, when I had all the women picking blueberries and just that day on set, it was gorgeous. And I loved just getting to work with all of those. But then another day with Richard and Sam, and that was so great. But then another day with just Sam and John Bell. I have loads of those moments. Like it was just, and I guess working with the crew in that different way. Like I felt I felt like I was buzzing the whole time, and it just felt really great.
Well, we love seeing you as an actor, but is directing, might that be your next love?
I mean, I would love to do more, and I hope that I get the opportunity to. I'm trying to, you know, figure out a time in my schedule where I can like maybe do some more shorts and stuff. But yeah,
Great.
I hope so. Yeah,
Oh, that's exciting. Would you write something? Would you write direct?
I would like to. Yes, I mean, I you know, writing, as you are more than well aware, is a job that is takes a lot of dedication and a lot of discipline. And yes, if I can figure out those two things, then I would like to, yeah.
So because we didn't get you and Sam together, I'm wondering for my interview with Sam if there's a question you want to ask him.
I think what is his most proudest moment from the show? I think I would like to know what it is.
Do you have an answer for that for you?
I think in a weird way, it's about the entirety of it. I think I'm just really proud of the fact that we did 101 episodes, um, that Sam and I maintained this incredible friendship and working relationship through it, that the rest of the cast, that we all love each other dearly, and yeah, and that we did it.
I'm gonna cry. So what does Caitríona Balfe do to recover from crying quickly on set when she has to go to the next scene?
Oh, I don't know, go outside, get some fresh air, and then you just, yeah.
That's what I'm gonna
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you for all
Oh,
the
thanks,
years.
Kate.
Really
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Okay.
All right, now you've got me going.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie.